again, my little grenadiers, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new German special rules that have been recently revealed by Warlord Games. That's right, the first army book of 3rd edition is already right round the corner, and let me tell you, it looks like a real doozy. Warlord Games has definitely taken the opportunity to go all out with this one. I am really excited for this, and so without further ado, let's not mess around any further. Let's fix bayonets and blitzkrieg our way right into today's video.
Attention guardsmen, the commissariat has detected you have not yet liked this video. Do so immediately or else you will face the Emperor's wrath. And anyone who has not yet subscribed to the channel will be transferred to the penal battalions. That is all. Move out!
Now, the first thing to mention is I'm getting my information from the Warlord Games community website. So if you want to go straight to the source and read this article for yourself, I will make sure that there is a link down in the description below. But with all that said and done, now let's get into what you're really here for, the special rules. Some of these will be eminently familiar to you, and some of them are going to be new and exciting. First off, we have the buzzsaw special rule. German light and medium machine guns fire 1 extra shot. Note that this applies to all light and medium machine guns, both those carried by infantry units and vehicle mounted ones. For vehicle mounted ones, first halve the number of shots they roll, then add +1 to the halved number. This means that your German light machine guns will be firing 5 shots each, and your German medium machine guns will be firing a whopping 7 shots each. And if they're on a vehicle, they're still going to be firing 4 shots apiece, meaning that the Germans still absolutely can bring the Dakar tanks. This special rule is the same as it was in 2nd edition, and it is the same as it was in the 3rd edition book, but it's still a very good one. And Warlord Games has acknowledged that sometimes if they've got a rule that just works and people like it, then they leave it. Essentially, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that is a very refreshing attitude. It's nice to see good things stick around and not have everything completely reinvented every 3 years. In a similar vein, we have got the Blitzkrieg special rule. Regular and veteran German officers may take 1 additional order dice from the bag when making a U-Men snap to action. This means that your platoon commanders can do 3 units as part of snap to action, plus themselves, and then you've got your company commanders who can do 5 units and themselves as part of a snap to action. This allows Germans to really do a big push and a big surge. Again, this is a rule that is the same as it was in previous editions and in the initial 3rd edition book, but it is still a very powerful one, and it is one of my favourite ones for the Germans. So if those rules have stayed the same, well, what has changed? Well, initiative training is back, but it has undergone a significant overhaul. How it used to work in the past is if you lost your squad's leader, you could roll a dice, and on a 2+, someone else in the unit would become the new squad leader. Essentially, someone takes over. And what's more, the new squad leader would pick up the equipment of the old squad leader. So what this means is if you had a NCO with a assault rifle or an SMG, if they got killed by, let's say, a sniper, then you could have a basic rifleman in the same squad, roll a dice, and on a 2+, that basic rifleman would essentially become upgraded to the NCO and would go from having a basic rifle to having whatever the officer had, whatever the NCO had, whether that's an SMG or an assault rifle. It was pretty good. Now, how it works is you just don't roll the dice. Regular and veteran German units are not affected by the -1 morale penalty for losing the squad/team leader. Now, there is no mention here if you pick up the old squad leader's equipment. So in my mind, this is a bit of a side grade because yes, you no longer have the risk of rolling a 1, But the downside is if you gave your NCO like an SMG or an assault rifle and he dies, that piece of equipment is now lost. However, it's totally possible to play around this, because what you do now is you just give your NCO a rifle. And then instead of having a basic rifleman in the unit to take over, because a lot of German players will just have like 1 or 2 basic riflemen for that exact purpose, you have your NCO with a rifle, and then you have your other guys in the squad with the good equipment. So when the NCO dies, you don't lose the -1, and you haven't lost any good equipment as well. That essentially makes this a straight upgrade. A straight upgrade, but the reason why I'm still classing it as a bit of a side grade is it kind of feels wrong that now you're de-incentivized to give your squad leaders good equipment. Another big change is Tiger Fear has gone. Now, we noticed this in the 3rd edition rulebook, and a lot of people were curious to see if it would come back in some form in the new Armies of Germany book, but Warlord Games has confirmed Tiger Fear has gone, and it's not coming back. They acknowledge that it never really worked. They constantly tried tweaking it over several editions, over other updates, but they never quite got it right. So as a result, they just got rid of it. It either never worked properly, or it never came up, or it just came up in the worst possible ways. It wasn't a good rule, so it's gone. In its place, we have the new Panzer Ace special rule, and this is a real doozy. In its place comes Panzer Ace, allowing you to make one of your veteran tanks significantly better at killing enemy armor. This represents your force, including one of Germany's elite tank commanders who honed their craft on dozens of battlefields and whose achievements were elevated to almost mythical status by propagandists. A veteran tank can be a significant investment in terms of points, so Panzer Ace ensures that your Tiger or Panther, to name but 2 of the many eligible vehicles, hits as hard as possible. So how does this rule actually work? So Panzer Ace. Although the term tank ace is from contemporary use, many German tank commanders and their feats have attained an almost mythical status, partly through propaganda but also through sheer skill in battle. A single veteran vehicle in your force, among those that have this option in their vehicle entry, may be designated as a Panzer Ace. When using its main gun, it receives an additional +1 pen modifier on the roll to damage all enemy vehicles, as well as an additional +1 modifier when rolling on the damage tables. This does not apply to its coaxial weapons. Oh, baby! That means when you fire a heavy anti-tank gun, like on a Panzer IV, it's going to have the same pen value against enemy vehicles as a super heavy anti-tank gun. That means if you get a penetrating hit, you will be destroying an enemy vehicle on a 3+. Oh my days. That is so good. And it's really important to remember that whilst veteran tanks are a significant investment, a lot of them, and I mean a lot of them, had their points come down as part of 3rd edition trying to encourage you to take those big tanks, to take those cool units. This is a phenomenal rule. I really like it. I think it properly rewards people for taking a veteran unit, but it's not overpowered because it's not going to be eligible for any vehicle. I suspect it'll be things like your Panthers and your Tigers, maybe Panther 3s, maybe Panther 4s, but we'll see. But I think it's going to be a great way of making those sort of tank ace memes go from being a dream to being a reality. But wait, there's more! And you know what's crazy? That's not just me saying that as a bit of an on-channel meme. That's actually in the article. I don't know if Warlord Games would watch my videos, but if they have, I love it. So what else have we got here? Defend the Fatherland. In previous editions of What Action, while you could field Fallschirmjäger, SS, or Gebirgsjäger squads, your team weapons, artillery, and officers were like the generic versions, lacking the characterful special rules used to represent the unique formations. This is very true. So you could have like a Royal Marine army, but your officer would just be a generic officer, and so he wouldn't get like stubborn and stuff like that. This meant that while you could paint and assemble your entire army as a homogeneous force, there would always be a mixture of units. While this was addressing some units in some campaign and theatre books towards the end of 2nd edition, we knew we had a great opportunity to go all out with 3rd edition, so we took it. Defend the Fatherland allows you to give special rules for Fallschirmjäger, SS, and Gebirgsjäger to huge swaths of units, allowing you to field a force comprised entirely of your chosen formation, or mix and match exactly how you want. Do you want your Gebirgsjäger sniper team to be able to keep up with the rest of the mounted troops, or to give your MMG team the legendary Fallschirmjäger spirit? Now you can. Let's look at who gets what. So certain infantry and artillery units in the Armies of Germany book may have additional options to represent the different distinct forces of the SS, the Fallschirmjäger, and the Gebirgsjäger. A unit entry may contain options to take that unit as one of those forces. If a unit is eligible to be taken as that force, its unit entry will say so. It may also enable that unit to take further options not available to the unit ordinarily. Vehicles might also belong to any of these distinct forces, but this makes no difference in rules terms, as is normally just a matter of using the right painting/marking scheme. These unit entries have the option for Defend the Fatherland, and then list some or all of the 3 options. Once an option is selected, the following rules and costs each apply. So how I read that is you're not going to have detachments of like Fallschirmjäger or SS or Gebirgsjäger like you would, let's say, in like a game like 40k. What happens is you're going to have your unit entry, and then in the special rules section, it'll have something like Defend the Fatherland, Fallschirmjäger, Defend the Fatherland, SS, Defend the Fatherland, Gebirgsjäger, or just have Defend the Fatherland like all or something, right? And then if it has that, you can then choose which one of these detachments it's going to be part of and get the potential special rule for it. So for example, let's say you've got an MMG team. It'll say MMG team, it'll say how many crew it's got, what weapon it's equipped with, and then under special rules, it'll have things like fixed, but then there'll be like Defend the Fatherland, Fallschirmjäger, SS, Gebirgsjäger. And that's how I think they're going to implement this. We'll have to see when the book comes out, of course. Now, if you choose to take your unit with Defend the Fatherland as Fallschirmjäger, then it has to be taken as Veteran, and it must be upgraded to Stubborn for +1 point per man. If you take it as Waffen SS, then units must be upgraded to Fanatics for 2 points per man, and inexperienced units get the mixed quality rule. This is actually a bit of a combination of the old mixed quality rule from the old Volksgrenadiers and from some of the other supplements that Warlord Games put out towards the end of 2nd edition. So mixed quality. When you fail an order test, you roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, the unit immediately goes down and takes an additional d3 pins. On a 3 to 4, the unit immediately goes down as normal. On a 5 to 6, the unit basically goes bonkers and makes a run order towards the nearest visible enemy unit or advances slowed by terrain, and if you make contact, then you count as having done a charge. If there's no visible enemy unit, then you get a 3 to 4. I love that, man. I love having units that can act in really wacky and sort of unpredictable ways if you can choose to run them that way. So you don't have to do this. Some people will see that rule and be like, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. That's unpredictable. It's wild. I don't like it. And some people will see that and be like, I love it. I love it. It's so flavorful. It can make games, change in a heartbeat, in a moment. Maybe my unit ends up going down, taking D3 pins, and now it's screwed. It's going to be out for another turn as it stays down and loses those pins. Maybe it'll just laminate itself into like an enemy unit of Gurkhas or something. But it's cool. Or maybe it'll do a charge and that'll somehow just go off and just swing the game in my favor. So I really like this rule because it's very, very tasty, but there's no obligation to take your unit with this rule. It's only if you're using Defend the Fatherland, it's only if you're inexperienced, it's only if you're going down the SS route. And last but not least, we have the Gebirgsjäger. These units must be taken as veteran, and they must be upgraded to Fieldcraft for 1 point per man, and in addition to Fieldcraft, they get the following rule: Winter equipment. Any infantry unit may take skis for no additional cost. An infantry unit equipped with skis ignores all negative movement effects related to snow or ice in scenarios that introduce them. Any artillery units may be upgraded to mounting guns for no additional cost, but you must remove all gun shields from any gun upgraded in this way. Any unit with this upgrade is not affected by difficult ground like other artillery. Instead, it may move through difficult ground in the same manner as infantry and ignores all negative movement effects related to snow or ice in scenarios that introduce them. That's really interesting, because gun shields just give you cover, so you can play around that. You can be like, okay, I no longer have a gun shield on my artillery piece. That's all right. I now can move around willy-nilly, no problems, and I'll just get my cover from being in cover. I think Gebirgsjäger might be the best one. Honestly, looking at all of these, Fanatics is decent for SS, of course, but you have to pay points for that. Fallschirmjäger, you have to take Stubborn, which is good, but Stubborn, it can be very good sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't come up. But Fieldcraft, just moving through cover, no problems. That's always a good one. And being able to get that on your artillery and stuff as well. Yeah, my money is on Gebirgsjäger being, out of these three options, being the better one. But let me know what you think. Now, that covers all of the rules specific to the Germans, but there is a really big reveal at the very bottom of the article. Warlord Games has confirmed that you can expect to see this formula rolled out across all of the upcoming armies of books, with every nation getting a similar set of options to better represent their most iconic troop types. I really like that. It's good to see that all nations are being treated equally, and that every option that you have, every army that you could possibly collect, is going to allow you to really lean into themed forces and be rewarded for doing so. Overall, I think this is a cracking article, and my 3rd edition hype was already stratospheric. I was already loving it. I've been playing as many bolt action 3rd edition games as I can get my hands on, and this has just taken it to hitherto unseen heights. My hype is now galactic. I'm in space. I'm going to the moon, guys. I think bolt action 3rd edition is shaping up to be a truly phenomenal game, and I can't wait to see what Warlord Games does with it. They're just going from strength to strength. They're just rolling out hit after hit. I think it is an exciting time to be a bolt action veteran or to be a new player thinking of getting into the game. But of course, all of this is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you excited by these changes? Do you like the new initiative trading? What do you think about the Panzer Ace? And out of those 3 Defend the Fatherland options, which one are you tempted by? Which one are you going to be leaning into? The stubbornness of the Fallschirmjäger, the mixed quality of the SS Fanatics, or the slippery snakes of the Gebirgsjäger slithering around the battlefield through all of the difficult terrain? If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button. It really boosts it with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more bolt action content, make sure you subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys next time.